Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This video comes out basically every month since we are celebrating Emmie's 4-month anniversary of being a quad.
Yay!
Hooray! So, Emmie has already posted on Instagram her thoughts and her feelings of being a quadriplegic for 4 months and how hard the journey is. Obviously, we will discuss what a quadriplegic is and some of the symptoms and some of the issues that a quadriplegic can have based on your experience. But half the time, most quads are going to experience it. And if you don't, that's kind of a lucky few. And if you do, it's just the normal symptoms. So, the first topic we want to get into is how I became a quadriplegic. Now, this story is kind of a blur since we really don't know, but it's kind of... I basically fell and hit my C5, C6, and I completely damaged those, so have most of those nerves damaged in that aspect. Yeah, so that's kind of how I became a quadriplegic. I guess my story is more simpler.
Yeah, mine is difficult as fuck.
Yeah, mine is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna say a little bit because I don't want to take up his video. So I am a C3, C4, C5, T1 quadriplegic, complete, and I got my injury when I had the beginning stages of ALS, and I couldn't walk as well. So in the middle of the night, after having a large seizure, I wanted some water, because after seizures, I get thirsty. So I wanted some water. I got up with my nothing, no cane, no walker, no walking aids, because at this time, I wanted to be cool and didn't want to use my walking aid. Why? Why?
No.
So I had the glass of water in my hand. I slipped, and apparently falling down the stairs because I had osteoporosis level 3, my bones are weak and brittle, including my neck bones. So I broke my C3, C4, C5, T1.
Wonderful.
It was a vigorous process, but it's been 53 years since mine, so no month anniversary, for me.
No.
We have to make a decade anniversary.
Okay, 63 years as well.
No, yeah, but my story is simple. It's not big or anything. Nothing crazy, so, yeah. The next thing we want to talk about is some of the issues and problems you can have as a quadriplegic or with any other level of injury. The first one is autonomic dysreflexia. So, with autonomic dysreflexia, we have a little story to tell of a couple nights ago, not a couple, but like a lot of nights ago, I think, last Weekly Smiles, we had this weird thing happen. But autonomic dysreflexia is basically an overstretch of the autonomic nervous system, basically meaning that is your new way of your body telling you something is wrong. Because when you become a quadriplegic, all the nerves down below that injury level gets damaged. And, you know, your autonomic nervous system, I guess, is the nervous system that gets overstretched when you have an issue because normal nerves don't work anymore. So, like, you have to go to the bathroom, or you have to do a bowel program, or you're uncomfortable, you need to do a weight shift, and your autonomic dysreflexia will kick in. Autonomic dysreflexia causes, like, red neck because of the hypertension that you get, high blood pressure. You get a palpitating heart rate, more accelerated pulse, you get a headache. Those are just mild symptoms. If you let it go on for too long, you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke because of the high blood pressure and the fast, rapid pulse. Because the harder your heart works, you know, it's not going to be good. So, yeah, autonomic dysreflexia in itself is just a whole new way that your body tells you something is wrong. So, for me, we experience autonomic dysreflexia every day. It's not like you can control it. It's not, I mean, yes, you can put it under control by using the bathroom or crafting yourself often or going to the bathroom and, you know, handling it. But autonomic dysreflexia is a thing that quads will get. They are not free from it, no, depending on your level of injury, but all quads have it. Unless if you are not strange case, don't want to say that, but sound mean.
Strange case.
You are strange. No,
sorry.
That you might just be, you know, not experiencing it. I don't know. Because if you had T12, anything lower than T6, like lower, like T7, T8, T9, T12, L, like anything in the L and the coccyx and the sacrum and the T's from T6. So yeah, anything from the T6 down, you do not experience autonomic dysreflexia unless if a random case happens. Because from the T6 up, T6, T5, T4, T3, T2, T1, C7, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, all those vertebrae up, you are going to experience autonomic dysreflexia. And the reason is don't have like a great definition on the top of my head, but I'm feeling like that from that injury level up, nerves are so badly damaged that your autonomic nervous system has to kick in to be the new response. Since if anything lower from the T6, it doesn't really affect the autonomic nervous system. It must require a different one or something, and it doesn't like damage as much as the autonomic nervous system needs to be working, I guess. So, like, I probably explained that horribly, but if we find a better definition on Google, we will put one up. That's why we're explaining it. So yeah, any level from T6 down cannot get autonomic dysreflexia. There is a rare chance you can, which can be a blessing and a curse. But anything from T6 up, you are going to have autonomic dysreflexia, especially
4:30.
Yeah. What the fuck? In the cervical region of your spine, which is your neck, just your neck, if any vertebrae you damage, you're literally a quad. There's no doubt about it. Because anything in the cervical, you're going to be a quad. Anything in the thoracic, you're going to be a para. Anything in the L, C, or S, you're going to be a para. And it's not something you can change. I guess, let's say you're a T1 and you somehow become a quad. I don't know how that's going to happen unless if you damage something in the C's while you damage your T1. For me, however, I did not damage my T or L or C or S. No, I didn't damage any of that. I damaged my first C, which is cervical. I damaged the C and the T for T1 and the rest up. I didn't damage the whole neck. Our friend Big Donnie, who we've shared his story on this channel before, like a little documentary about him, he damaged his C1, C2, so yeah, first two vertebrae. Perfect. That is autonomic dysreflexia. You just get hot, you get headaches, your blood pressure rises, your neck gets all red from the blood pressure rise. Now, here's a little story. So, we were in bed one night, me, Luce, and Doc, and we were all chilling there, and I want to give a background. Luce is a T11, T12 paraplegic, so she cannot get autonomic dysreflexia. She has to go from what her watch tells her, or what she sorta-ish feels. Yeah. So we were in bed this night, and we were chilling, we were going to bed, and we lay down, and a few, hour goes by, or 30 minutes, and we start sweating profusely. Me and Doc can sweat from our forehead, but we can't sweat I can't sweat from C3, my wife cannot sweat from C5, sorry. So yeah. So anything in our neck down, we cannot sweat. So when we sweat on our forehead, it's not even enough to cool us down. So, but we got super hot and sweaty, so we're must have not cathed. But then I remember, I just cathed 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
And I didn't have any liquid or beer before bed. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Normally my bladder never does that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. It was just the sweating portion. I knew it wasn't AD. Or barely AD. And so we go back to bed. 30 minutes later, we wake up.
Okay.
Profusely sweating. What in the fuck? I kind of roll myself, because I have enough movement, thankfully. Kind of roll myself, and I feel the back of my neck with my hand, and I suddenly feel wet.
Yep.
I was like, oh no. I was like, oh my god, something must be wrong. So I tried kicking out my legs, letting them spaz, because, that could be the issue. And then we just chilled. Once we sat up a little, it helped. So I guess that was a position change or needed. We kind of cooled down. And then we said, okay, I'm tired of sitting up. We laid back down. 2:40 p.m. rolls around. 2:40 a.m., sorry. 2:40 a.m. rolls around. And flash is about to turn off. Hold up. So, you know, we got tired of sitting up and we just lay back down. It was like, okay, we're going back to bed. 2:40 a.m. rolls around and we just suddenly see, or like we get the random feeling that we just need to pee. Like, that's weird. That's never happened. I mean, it happens, but not that odd. And we're like, oh, damn. Like, it was sudden sharp. When I feel that, I know I don't actually need to pee, and it's my bladder giving me a false alarm. Like, there might be a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like, oh, you need to empty your bladder right now. No. We're good. So, I know I'm sounding like horrible, but I know what's actually wrong with my body, and, you know, if I will listen to the AD if it gets bad enough, but if it's just sweating and you randomly feel a random shock that you have to go to the bathroom, I got up, but as soon as I, like, leaned myself up, I didn't feel it. Like, or my watch wasn't binging, or no AD. I was like, that's weird. We lay back down. We're fine, but we're also sweating the whole damn night. We get up, we use the bathroom like normal, and it was gone. Not because I went to the bathroom. It was gone before I went to the bathroom. So I don't know what happened that night. It was a weird night of AD. And yeah, autonomic dysreflexia comes at random times and will wake you up in the middle of the night if you are randomly not wanting to be woken up. So, another thing, how we can cure AD sometimes is by intermittent catheterization, also called ICs. I use these every day because I need to. This is the IC, or at least one of the ICs that we use. It's called a straight cath, not a Foley bag, not a urine collection bag. So we're chilling there, and wait, what am I talking about? Okay, so these catheterizations we've talked about in several videos, but we're just going to give a brief thing. A catheter is a flexible tube put up into the urethra and, you know, in between the bladder walls. Not actually in between, but in the bladder. So, for people who have, like, incontinence issues, who have, like, sphincter issues, and, you know, have a hard time letting their sphincter release, and if your nerves are not really connected in the pathway that your spine allows it to, they're going to be damaged. Hopefully that made sense. So a catheter is basically for people who have trouble letting urine go, cannot let urine go, or need it as a permanent solution because they keep having incontinence. Catheter itself is a flexible tube inserted into your bladder or that area. In any male or female counterpart you may have. There are female caths and male caths.
Yep, females are
shorter. Me and my wife, however, use a male because we have the male counterpart, and my wife finds them easier to use. Yeah. Female are way too short for me to reach from my chair, so if I'm doing a catheterization in my chair, you've seen it, it's huge. So, like, I'll stroll up to the toilet, and then Mathew will put it in, and through this large packaging, it allows me to use the bathroom from my chair, which is extremely helpful. So, yeah. We use these catheters at least 5 or 4 times a day, and on bad days, we use them 7 or 8. I once used 15 of these bad boys in a day. No, I did not have a UTI. I just kept getting autonomic dysreflexia. Maybe something was wrong with my bladder, or some stupid crap was happening that day. So, yeah, we've used a lot of these, and we do still use them. It's not something that we just forget. If we did, we'd get UTIs, which is a urinary tract infection, which can make quads not do so great because we already have a compromised immune system.
Yep.
Fun. And to go poop, it's gonna make us lean. Oh God. Alright, can you see it? Here, put it. Oh, I'm leaning. We also have horrible core, if you can tell. Oh no. Don't make me pee. Ha. Alright, so I'm gonna be lean. It's fine. So these are called emmies or enemas on however you pronounce them. We call them enemas because I find it easier to do or to say. But emmies is their official name or one of their names. And it's like basically like a gel tube thing or like a gel cap. after that catastrophic thing, these are enemies. They allow you to go to the bathroom because your bowels are paralyzed from wherever your injury is. Even if you are a T11 or T12, your bowels are still going to be paralyzed.
Sadly.
In some people's cases. Some people's cases, they have some relief, but they don't have full. So, these are called enemies. They go up your butt. Or, yeah, they're always going to go up your butt. Or you can use a shot, which we do have, but it's in the trash can currently. So, we can't show you it. So, we have this enemy, or this enemy bottle. It's huge because me and my wife need a lot of enemies a day. I need 4 enemies to go to the bathroom each bowel program I do, and I do 2 a day. My wife, I go to the bathroom once or twice a day, and I only use 2. So, in a day I could use 4 or just 2. In a day I could use 4 or 8. So we need a huge bottle of them, but they're very helpful in keeping, I guess, a better, how can I say this? I'm having trouble. Keep a better schedule for your bowels and what they follow. So if you are a quadriplegic or a para or a tetraplegic, which is also a word for a quad, you can just use these enemas or set a bowel routine or bowel program, which is also just for your bowels, and it will help make your bowels set up a schedule on when you're going to go to the bathroom, which can be extremely helpful for quads, tetraplegics, or paras. You can just go to the bathroom and your bowels will know to release at that time because you've been doing it often at that time, your bowel program. So, it's incredibly important to stay on top of your bowel program or your bladder function and stuff, so it's always important to stay on top of that because as a quadriplegic, you don't really have control of it unless if you take control of it using enemas, shots, like some shots that can help, ostomy bags, some quads or tetraplegics, or even paras have, which is also a name for quads. They have like an ileostomy or an ostomy bag, which is a bag to hold poop, a new way of pooping, which that's actually easier for quads sometimes. In some cases, and in their opinion, it's easier for them to manage since they can just open a bag clip and not have to worry about bowel programs or accidents or incontinence. So it can be a great way to control your bowels, whatever way works for you. So ileostomy, ostomy, enemies, bladder, which is just catheter. You can just use a catheter. Catheter to control your bladder. There is a suprapubic catheter that you can get, which is just a catheter physically implanted in your pubic area, which is where, obviously that area, for both female and male. And you can just have a little tube and a bag connected, kind of like a Foley cath that is inserted, but it's in you permanently, so you just have to clean around the area. That can be a way for some quads to relieve themselves, or they can have a lay bag, or they can have a Foley cath, straight cath. There's a lot of catheters that you can get, or even a French cath, which has a wider opening or wider tube. So yeah, there are plenty of ways quads can go to the bathroom every single day, and it's important to know and manage these, because if you don't, you're going to get constipation or constipated or UTIs, which is not good for, not good. It's certainly not. But yeah, that is Emmie's 4 months as a quadriplegic. We kind of explained autonomic dysreflexia, how to use the bathroom in this video, and just a story. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and happy 4 months to Emmie! Bye! To add to the quadriplegic videos, Mom has a flat tire. On the same tire that happened on the 12th.
And around the same time she's supposed to come home from work. Oh my god, I feel so bad for her.
No,
Stop.
Mom has a flat tire. We were trying to edit, literally a few minutes into editing, and I heard Dad say, oh, like, I'm coming away. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I thought it was for work.
In none of their cars. They don't have a spare. So it's probably going to take longer.
Oh, my God. Yep.
They're headed her way, and it is 4:51.
It's 4:51. We'll probably put in the description when they get back. I don't know. Fun. Okay, well, thanks for watching Emmie's Quadriplegic video. This is going to be added on the end. Okay? Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you knocked over my hearing aids, babe. My God. Mathew walked by and he knocked my hearing aids. So, hearing aid case that is. So these things, flash disabled. Hell.